David Boland from Racing's Inside Track TV, and I'm delighted to say I'm joined by John Ormonde of John Ormonde Wexford Sand Limited here on the Curragh Racecourse. How are things, John?
Good, David. How's yourself?
Very good, thank you. John, things are coming along very well with the gallops.
Yeah, it's great.
It's your job to put them all in, and these are very busy.
Yeah, we're very busy. We've been appointed a contractor just before December. We obviously, like other contractors, we were brought in, we tendered for the job. We were lucky to be successful enough to win the tender, and just a week before Christmas we were told we had the job, and we had to kind of get ready to mobilise for the 7th of January, and ever since then it's been just completely flat out ever since then, all go. We've been great, the weather's been great, it's worked out very well in our favour. You know that we didn't have any rain, much rain and so on, much frost, very little, and the lads have put a lot of hard hours and a lot of hard work to make it happen, you know. So it's all going well so far, you know.
Very good, and we're standing down here at the bottom of the Old Vic Gallop, which everybody will know, and the poly track beside it, but now is called the Free Eagle. So tell us a little bit about what's going to happen here, John, and what you are doing exactly.
At the moment we're putting on the sand, we've everything else done, all the drainage has been put in place, the old surface was removed, we re-profiled the banks, so we had to raise the gallop up to get more height on it, to keep it up, make the drainage improved. So we've already put in all the drainage base, heavy membranes underneath, some support drainage stone on top of the existing stone. Now the sand goes on top again with a rubber in between the sand and the drainage base.
And this, of course, as I said earlier, this was a poly track, so this was pulled up. And why was the decision for the Curragh to change from the poly track to your sand? Well,
I think the poly track had broken down over many years. It's been probably here maybe 12 or 13 years ago since it was done. So after like every surface, you know, there is a time period on them. So they decided to go with a washed Wexford sand this time as a change from the wax. I think the wax can be very quick and can't be used in more ways than one. You know, it can only be a quick surface. You have to power hard a lot to make it soft. With this surface, there will be fibre added to it, but you can change the performance of the surface by rolling it and deep harrowing it and watering it. So it can be a quick surface, but it can be a working surface as well. So for the combination of both horses, both flat and national hunt, they can both use this gallop with different maintenance routines.
Which is brilliant, and it's a huge asset to the Curragh trainers and the trainers that come here to work their horses, having the famous Old Vic beside it and now a sand gallop. And poly track, tell us a little bit about that. That is expensive to maintain then, so this has been obviously the correct decision to change the sand then, I take it, John.
A poly track has a polymer wax mixed in with the sand and fibre.
Okay.
That binds it, so you shouldn't have to water it. But like Dundalks, they would have a poly track on it. It suits flat horses for doing light work, but if you want to do heavier work on it and work the horses a little bit more into the surface, you have to power hard like to make it looser. So with the sand and fibre, you will power hard not near as much, so you deep harrow it to loosen up the sand so the horses can work a little bit more into it. But then if you water and roll it, the horse can work on top of it as well. But it has been proven now that this surface, this Wexford sand surface, it's a combination. It's a Darcy sand, and it's quarried in black water in County Wexford. So the sand has been multi-washed, and all the larger particles, grains, have been taken out of it. So it's a more uniform grain, sand grain. So it doesn't compact. It has fantastic drainage structure. And when you add the fibre to it, it knits it together so the horse can stay on top of it rather than going down too deep into it. But if you work the harrow deeper, the horses will increase depth into it as well and safely work deep into it, building up their stamina better.
And this is what a lot of trainers, especially national hunt trainers, and I know you're very busy covering a lot of trainers around the country, this is what they're putting down now on their round gallops. 90%
of them are going back to the sand. You will have some trainers that will have wood chip gallops, not knocking the wood chip. Some trainers do have them as well for doing very light work, breezy work, but most of the trainers now have found that the sand is the most manageable surface, the most cost-effective surface, and they get the best work out of it.
And you're very busy, John, covering plenty of yards, as I said, small gallops and large gallops all around the country.
Very busy last year, great year, doing gallops for small trainers, big trainers, and new trainers coming up as well. Just mind this guy coming out here. We do a lot of work for the point-to-point guys, you know, and they've been great to us throughout the years. We started off from that work and we've moved on from there. It started locally, but it has increased now nationwide, all over Ireland and into the UK as well. We actually send this sand to the UK now as well on a regular basis, and it's becoming very popular. More calls are coming in from the UK for this sand, so it's and for our services as well.
And tell us, John, how many lorry loads would it take to fill this gallop?
This gallop will take 5,000 tons of sand to cover it. So it's a 10 furlong gallop.
A lot of lorry loads from
2,000 meters. Yeah.
Wexford.
It's 4.5 meters wide. The sand is going in at 13 inches deep. So like 5,000 ton, it's a lot of sand, but you know, it has great longevity as well. Like, so, you know, when you put this sand down, you're looking at 10 years plus before you have to do anything with it as well. So it is worth it in the long term. Put in new white railing. The old white railing was taken down. This has all been installed as well as we go. The whole gallop from start to finish, we started it on the 21st of January, so it's to be open next Tuesday. So it's completely on time and in budget, and there'll be a big open day here next Tuesday with most of the trainers that use the gallop here come to test ride some horses on it. So it's all go now from here until next Tuesday. Believe me, I don't think there'll be any break.
Good.
We'll be working into the night tonight and tomorrow night.
This is looking well now, John.
Yeah, I'm very happy with the way it turned out. You can still see that there's a high content of fibre in it, but it's down in the sand. So the guys have been doing a great job of watering it and harrowing it as well. There's fibre still down the surface. That's going to keep it nice and tight. For the guys that we've been speaking to, like Johnny and so on, they don't want to be going too deep into the surface. They want to be on top of it. It's 6.5, 7 furlongs, but as you see, when you go up the hill, she starts to go downhill for the last furlong.
Yeah.
So you can breeze from so far, and then when you get to the bend, you're kind of pulling up and cantering down the hill.
It's ideal for flat horses.
It's ideal for flat horses, and I don't think you will be. This will get the interest from the national hunt guys. This is the flat area around here, and this is what it was kind of designed for, and it's mostly only the flat guys that will be using it.
And this took how long from start to completion?
6 weeks from start to finish, and that was winter time. So you know, in the summertime we'd probably cut that back down by a couple of weeks, but we were blessed again with the weather. You know, it's we had to work the little curragh from one end only because we had no access from the bottom side.
Oh, with the free eagle, you're working from top to bottom and meeting in the middle then?
We can work from both ends, so
yeah.
Then it makes it a little bit more accessible, and you know, it is a lot longer as well, so it did help. But here we had to manage it a lot differently. When we're putting in the drainage, we started from the start of the gallop and worked right to the very end, and then we'd start from the end and work our way back again. So it was more difficult to coordinate that. But you know, we done it in the time we set out to do it. And again, look, it was a lot of hard work. You know, from the guys up here in the middle of winter. You know, from the 7th of January, we were starting here at maybe 7 o'clock in the morning. It was black, dark, a couple of light towers up, and we weren't leaving here till 7 o'clock in the evening. So they were very long days, you know. But again, the weather did help. But you know, with the guys putting in the hours, made an awful difference.
As well, this is all new railing as well then.
All new railing, yeah. So glide way it turned out.
Sharp, yeah.
It's the posts are centered every 2 meters because of the wind factor here, and we didn't want to have any and also the friendly sheep that knock around here as well.
That's very true,
they like rubbing up against the post, so
do.
you have to have them well in the ground so they don't knock down the railing.
And I know we can see the stand and the new stand in the background, John. I know that's not your end at all, obviously, but it's looking fantastic, isn't it?
Oh, it's looking great, you know. Hopefully maybe we might get a day out there when
Jeez, if they couldn't treat you to a day out there, John, there's something wrong, isn't there?
We hope so anyway. I think I'll be getting all the lads that we wanted to be included in that day as well though.
On Derby Day.
Yeah, on Derby Day, yeah.
John, this is the canter down from the top of the old Vic back down to the bottom, and this going to have the same job as well, sand?
It's going to do the same job, being redrained, being base layer being done.
It's very deep, isn't it?
It's deep at the moment. We've got you know, there's 12 inches of stone to go into this,
okay,
and then there's going to be 13 inches of sand as well, and then fibre at it as well, so we have to have that depth to get the height in it. Now at the moment Owen is grading out the banks there. He's doing all the shaping work that's needed to retain the sand and retain the stone. You see he's doing a really nice job. So when that's all done, we'll go back in, we start digging the drains, put down the base membrane, put in our 12 inches of stone, regrade it, take any dips and hollows out of that may be in it, and then put a new heavy membrane on, and then put our sand on again, the same sequence again. and then by using very good bank system to retain it, that you don't get soil washing into the sand, that obviously is going to make your sand last way longer as well.
Are you on a deadline?
We're on a deadline here, yeah. We've to open the Free Eagle there on next Tuesday, so with the last 600 or 700 tons of sand to go on it between the season and tomorrow, and then we'll regrade it, level it up, and then start adding the fibre to it. And you know, next 3 or 4 days we should have it all ready to go.
And you'll finish up at this part here then with the canter down.
Canter down is due to be open on the 25th, so we've a little bit of leeway on that now at the moment, but still it's going to be tight. The whole schedule has been tight, but you know, it's been to work around all the trainers here in the Curragh, you know, not to upset their routine so much coming into a very busy flat season for them. So it's you know, it's a good pressure to have, you know. So.
And for anybody wanting to change their gallop or put in a new gallop, you're not a hard man to find, and you're always available to go look and put in a new gallop for anybody that wants one.
Yeah, I know we've got a few gallops to do straight after this, and thankfully enough, people know we're busy because it's kind of common knowledge and through Twitter and so on that we are here in the Curragh working, and you know, they have been giving us a bit of grace, I'd say, you know, but hopefully the phone won't stop ringing, you know, and we'll be starting to go back to a few of our regular customers straight after this, and you know, to do a few new jobs as well for a few new customers.
That's good. John, thanks very much for taking the time. I know you're very busy to show me the gallops and tell us a little bit about what's going to be completed here in a few weeks' time, and best of luck with the rest of it.
Great, thanks very much, David. Thanks for coming.